All right, let's open it up.
Ben, 2 years ago, that playoff opener you had with the Lions against the Rams, what do you remember about the atmosphere of that night, the anticipation that your team had?
Yeah, that was a big one for a number of reasons. The home crowd was electric that night. And that was, of course, Stafford coming back. That added a little bit more intrigue to it as well. So, that one came down to the wire, but those guys played well, and that was huge for that organization and that city to get that win.
I know you're locked in, but what are you most eager about in taking this organization into the playoffs this week with the stage that you'll have Saturday night?
Yeah, well, I mean, this was the vision from the beginning, was to have some home playoff games, at Soldier Field. And so was really excited about that opportunity and to see that come to light here this year. Big credit to our guys. I kind of talked about it a little bit yesterday, the fact that you win the division, that you're having home playoff games, that's huge. It's why we do what we do, and now we've earned this opportunity, and we got to make the most of it.
And we've seen every win kick off with good, better, best in the locker room. What does that chant mean to you?
It means a lot of things, but we're continually striving to get better each and every week, and we got one of the slogans in the team meeting room is chasing greatness. I think that's an example of it. We're never going to reach that perfection or that level that we necessarily are looking to chase after, but at the same time we're trying to get better every single day, every single week, and I think that has a lot to do with it.
Is there an example that you can think of seeing your guys take their good and see it become their best, or have you not reached that yet?
I haven't sat back and reflected on it to that extent, but I've seen every player get better this year. I've seen each unit get better this year. And the team's gotten better. We're a lot better than we were earlier in the season, as from top to bottom. Certainly, the belief has been there, confidence has grown, and so I think we're at a really good spot here going into this week.
And Ben, I think you had 7 guys catch 30 balls this year. What sort of challenge do you hope that presents for a team game planning against you? That it really could be a lot of different guys.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be able to use that to our advantage because we got a lot of weapons. Ryan's done a fantastic job of bringing this offense together from a personnel standpoint. I think we're very strong up front. I think we've got a number of players on the perimeter in the backfield that can hurt teams. And so I think you probably look at us and you don't say, hey, we just want to take away this one particular player. You got to defend the entire field, and I think that's the way we really wanted it. All these guys know that they'll have plays in this week to make an impact on this game, and Caleb's job is to help distribute that football so that they all get an opportunity to do that.
I presume it's a good problem to have, but what's the challenge for you these next couple of days, making sure that those plays are weighted the way you want them to be? With the number one being a bunch of different guys.
That's every week. That's what we do every single week, and that's why that trust level between the players, with Caleb, that's why the trust level with the coaches, within the players, that's what we're building to all year long. We see it during practice. We see it how these guys go about their business. When the stakes are high like this and the margin for error is very small, you want to lean on those that you can trust the most. That's what I've learned over my time, and we'll do that here going forward.
Speaking of trust level, where's your trust in Colson right now? Is that kind of reliable target in this offense?
He's come, he's shown up, and he's made big plays for us. I think the last few fourth downs, the ball seems to find its way to him. I think that's certainly a credit to him. The quarterback certainly trusts him, but I think that probably sheds a lot of light in terms of how vital he is towards our operation. We ask him to wear a lot of hats in terms of knowing the game plan, a lot of different positions, a lot of different responsibilities, run game, pass protection, and I think he's still learning and he's growing, and really excited not only to see him compete over the next few weeks, but also his future.
I know you don't want it to have to come down to Rick, needing to rally at the end of the game, but given what Caleb has done and been at his best in those situations, how reassuring is that to you to have a guy like that?
Yeah, we're never out. Our guys know that, and I think to your point, we certainly don't want to have to lean into that each and every week. You know, we'd like to start off a little bit faster and make it more of a complete game for 60 minutes. But just the fact that I think teams understand when they play us now that they have to earn it. They got to really close us out if they want to get the victory, because we can score points in bunches. We can do it in a short amount of time, and I think we've proven that.
As you've tried to problem solve the slow starts, what has worked this year and what has not been effective?
Yeah, I don't know that there's a right answer for that. There's a process I believe in terms of how we prepare these guys. I think we got a lot of great professionals, and I think anytime you bring attention to something that they look to fix it, and that's what we're doing here this week.
How have you dealt with the frustration of some of that when you designed these first 10 to 15 plays, however many it is, and drilled those over and over, and then it doesn't look right come game day?
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of alluded to you before. Anytime we take the field on offense and we don't end up with points, then yeah, I'm disappointed. All of our guys are disappointed. So you find out what happened, what went wrong, and you look to make those corrections and put it past you. So that's how I deal with it.
Ben, when with played in big games before, you talked about this yesterday, but it is totally different in an NFL postseason. What about his progress just indicates he's ready for this kind of stage?
Yeah, I mean, he's a completely different quarterback than when we first took this job. I think back to the springtime and during camp at times, and some of the struggles that we were having as an offense in those moments. We've certainly moved past that, and so I'm encouraged for where he's at right now. I know he's really looking forward to this opportunity to go out there, and he's played some really good football here, particularly in the back half of the season for us, and we're going to need that. We're going to need him at his best. We're going to need all of our players at their best, and I'm hopeful we're going to get that.
Ben, with this being your first playoffs as a new head coach, have you heard from former colleagues and mentors, and have you taken a second to even kind of take personal stock of what this means for you?
The answer is no. Yeah, I haven't gotten much for text messages or anything like that, and so just really focused at the task at hand, and we'll worry about the reflection. We'll have plenty of time to do that when the season's over, but we're not ready for that, And just like I told those guys after the game, we're mentally prepared to play for 5 more weeks, and so that's our intent. How do you do that? You go out and you win the first one, and so we're going to come in today and we're going to have a great day today. Meetings, walkthrough, short week, opponent that we know. And we're going to get ready for this one, and we're going to go all out for this game, and we'll worry about the future when that time comes. But now it's not the time to look back and reflect.
So what has your personal schedule been like? Have you been home? Are you sleeping? Is this any different than it would be last week or the week before?
No, it's I try to keep it as consistent as possible for my own sake and for the players. We've been through this schedule. We've had a 7-day window to get ready for games. We've had long weeks, we've had short weeks, and so this will be business as usual as far as we're concerned. And then for me, some nights I sleep better than others, but that's life in this league.
And in the 2 games with Green Bay during December, you seem to be at your best offensively in the second half at their place. What did you see within that period of time that gave you some encouragement about the flow of the offense?
Yeah, no, I think our guys are looking forward to this opportunity. We haven't put together a full 60 minutes, really on either side of the ball. I'd say all 3 phases. I don't think our special teams, particularly that first game, we were very pleased with our performance there either. So, we get another crack at these guys. It's a good crew. They're very talented. They're well coached, and we're just, like I said, we're really looking forward to an opportunity to go at them again and in front of our home crowd. These guys, you really have felt this city come alive over the course of the season. That's something that I'm grateful for. You know, I'm certainly not downtown a whole lot, but when I'm down there for game day, you know, night before the game, I certainly feel that vibe, and so keep a good thing going.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dennis, what is this like for you to be here in the playoffs now and have an opportunity to go out and play a postseason game like this?
Yes, everything. Usually, we usually packing the cars up, sending everything back home to home base, and getting ready for the off season. So it feels good preparing for the postseason right now.
Preparation like this week, obviously going up against some tackles that you're familiar with from the last month.
I mean, pretty much same as every week. You probably want to focus on the details a little bit more, seeing as playoff football and intensity goes up and all those type of things. But yeah, same process this week.
How would you kind of assess the pass rush overall through the season? Like, what did you like? What didn't you like?
I'll probably touch on that later on after we done with all this type of stuff. I mean, I'm sure it's ups and downs and things of that sort. Yeah, touch on that later.
What did it mean to you after last season to be able to play a full year on every game?
I think last season I only missed probably maybe 1 or 2 games. I mean, every year you want to improve on things and sorts and stuff like that. So I feel like I did a pretty good job of that this year.
What is your this year overall, like week to week?
I would say this was a more healthier year for me opposed to last year. But every year has its ups and downs and injuries. There's nobody out there playing injury free. So
What have you dealt with the last month or so? What have you played through?
I won't go into details on specific things that not on the injury report or anything like that. So but yeah.
What does Jordan Love do that presents for you guys as pass rushers?
I mean, he's a talented QB. Gets the ball out fast. He's pretty accurate in his throws. Got a nice little back leg throw that he could be pretty accurate with defenders in his face. So he presents a great challenge.
Is it an advantage to play an opponent that you're so familiar with the stakes as high as they are?
I mean, yeah, there's some familiarity there. But I mean, we got the same advantage that they do. They seen us as many times as we've seen them. So it's pretty much an even playing field to me.
This game obviously carries that like big juice feel into it. How do you channel that into making sure that the fundamentals and all the small things happen the way they need to?
You just try to keep the main thing. All the outside factors and people that's not in the building, the man in the arena, those things really don't matter. You just kind of focus on the game plan and winning the game, really.
What has Ben's message been to the team now as the intensity goes up? Because he's just naturally intense. Have you noticed even his intensity go up a bit here?
Yeah, he's really a pretty intense guy all the time. Pretty serious. But yeah, his whole thing is just it's a new season ahead of us. Whatever happened in the regular season is what's got us here now. So we just need to move forward and focus on postseason.
Speaking of intensity, the good, better, best chant in the locker room seems to get guys really hyped up after wins. How does that chant embody Ben Johnson?
I mean, it's who he is as a makeup. He's never satisfied. He always wants to get better each and every week. And just telling you that the good is not good enough. It's got to get better.
What struck you about Austin Booker and his emergence here late this season?
Austin has always been a good player since he's been here. Y'all just seeing the things that I've already seen.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Cole, what did you see on the catch in the end zone, and what did it feel like to kind of sustain the blow that you took?
It didn't feel good, I'll tell you that. Yeah, well, I missed on my block, and then Kyle did a good job of kind of helping me out there, and looked like they covered the concept pretty well, and Caleb got the scramble mode, so just kind of found a void, and Caleb made a great throw in there and was able to come up with a catch.
You okay now?
I'm good, feeling good.
You guys have been in a sequence of big games really since Friday. What do you think that this group collectively has gained from the experiences of playing about 4 or 5 big games?
Yeah, I think that's it. Just a lot of experiences, a lot of different situations that we can learn from. Some of them we've executed well, some of them we haven't. So those are all things that I think we can take in and learn from and bring into the playoffs. So we definitely have a lot of experience in that regard, and I think that'll bode well for us here, especially in this first game.
A lot of guys described the atmosphere 3 weeks ago on Saturday night against the Packers at Soldier Field as being pretty amped up. What's the key to channeling the juice and the electricity in the right direction when you're in those?
Yeah, I think the main thing's got to be the main thing, and Coach said it before that second game against Green Bay was, that we all want to win and we all want it badly, and so does the other team. It's not a lack of who wants it more. It's going to be about who executes, who's on their details, who's on their fundamentals, and that's what's going to win out at the end of the day. So we got to be on top of that stuff, and obviously it's going to be an electric atmosphere, and we'll use that to our advantage. But we got to be on those details.
You've been here through some obviously difficult times during this franchise. What's it like for you, the reward of the season, being in a playoff push here and enjoying the success of this year?
Yeah, I mean, it's been fun, but look, we haven't done anything yet, and the goal at the end of the day, there's only 32 teams, so the goal is the Super Bowl, and that's what our mission is, and we got to take care of this first one here, and in order to be on our path there. But yeah, I mean, this season's been a lot of fun. It's been a great locker room to be part of, and I've had a lot of fun with the guys in there, and we just want to continue it on, and the only way to do that is to win on Saturday.
It's obviously a huge game for everybody in the locker room, but as a kid who grew up in Chicago cheering for the Bears, your father was on the Bears, what does this mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot. I mean, to be able to be at home against Green Bay, it's going to be a special atmosphere, and it almost feels like we've played these guys like 5 or 6 times here in the past month. But I think that'll just make the atmosphere and the battle that much more epic.
Did you get one of those cheese grater hats last time?
I did not. I didn't know what that was, honestly, till the day after. I saw DJ wearing it in the locker room, and I couldn't tell what it was. But good for the guy whoever made that. I'm sure he's doing pretty well right now.
Who's your sister?
I don't know. I don't talk to her on Packer Week, so I'll find out after the game.
You don't talk to her?
No, I'm kidding. Well, she did ask for tickets, and I just sent her the tickets, so I didn't really respond to anything else besides that. But
ask the other guy?
No. They wanted the better seats. That's why. So I had to help my sister out. No, all kidding aside. But I usually find that out after the game. Usually she's just she's happy to see both of us healthy and all that good sister stuff. But I hope deep down she's rooting for us.
Well, the 6 comeback wins after 2 minutes left. How has Caleb been able to do that? And what special qualities do you see there that allows him to be so good at the most important times of the game?
Yeah, I think it's just something that he's had and he's kind of just been born with. I don't know if that's something he's had just since he's been playing football and playing sports in general, but I felt that last year too. And I know results weren't great last year, but there was countless times where he drove us down the field at the end of the game to either put us in position to win, tie, or go ahead. And but this year obviously that gets highlighted more just because of the winning record and all that stuff. But he's just got great poise out there, and he remains the same. And I think he understands, especially this year, when he has to go make a play and when it's needed. And I think we've seen that come up time and time again.
How has the good, better, best chant embodied what this team stands for and impacted what you guys have been able to do this year?
Yeah, I think despite the result, we come in Monday, Tuesday, whatever it be, and we're looking to get better. And I think that's kind of the mantra of that whole deal. And the guys have really embodied that. I think we have all been able to put our egos aside come Monday morning or Tuesday and be able to look at the film with a critical eye and get better from it.
What about this team or this offense has allowed so many different guys to step up in those critical moments, whether it's Colston the other night or Jade when his opportunity came?
I think this is what Ben and our coaching staff do such a good job of putting guys in the right spots. I think we're all put in situations where we can really succeed, and I know the coaches really think that through when they put together the game plan, and So when those moments come up, guys are able to excel, and I think we've seen that time and time again with a bunch of different guys in a bunch of different spots.
We were here the last time this organization had a playoff game, obviously a very different kind of season, different atmosphere with COVID. What do you remember about that day in New Orleans?
Man. Well, I remember it being weird. You know, as a rookie, you just kind of you don't really know this from that, and you know you're 8-8, and there felt like a lot of negative sentiment around the team at the time, even though we were going to the playoffs, and it almost felt like, oh man, you know, you go at 8-8, and it feels like this. Like surely getting in is not an issue, and sure enough, you know, 5 years later, you're going back for the second time. So. I think I just look back on it and you realize, first of all, you never take a playoff for granted, and you know, maybe I did a little bit at the time, and just based on the atmosphere of that. But you know, also that being said, I do feel like this team is way different than that team, and I think that you know that team, we had a lot of things going on throughout the year, a lot of changes at some key positions. Where this year it feels like we're more cemented in who we are and our identity as a team, and I feel like those are things that can carry over, you know, here in January.
Do you see a change in Ben's intensity? Is it possible for Ben to be more?
No, he's the same every day. I think that's what we respect about him, and you go back to April till now, there's no change, there's no let up, and I think at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for from a coach.
The lack of fast starts that you guys have had the last month or so.
Yeah.
And yesterday said he identified 6 mental errors in the first 11 plays.
Mm-hmm.
When you watch the film back, do you see things that are easily correctable that you can carry over to see a faster start against Green Bay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think whenever they're mental like that, those are things that we should be able to fix quickly. So yeah, I mean, that's on us as players to get those things corrected and get those things going, and it's crucial for us to get off to a fast start, because I feel like once we kind of spark that match, things really get going for us, and it took us a while this past week, and when we got going, it felt like we got in a good rhythm, and same with that previous Green Bay game, and we just got to come out to a fast start, and I think if we do that, we'll like the result that we get.
Well, since you've been here, obviously there's been a lot of different offensive line combinations, and this year, obviously you guys have been healthy, but when you think about when Ryan went out and got Jonah, Joe, and Drew,
yeah,
and now season's over and you can look back at that, well, what's it meant to have that trio to play with them,
yeah,
the way they were?
Well, first of all, a lot of experience. I mean, obviously Joe's been in these situations with multiple different teams. So he brings a great experience in that regard, a great calmness to the line. Drew is just so smart, man, like, getting us all on the same page with the IDs and all that stuff. He's been great the whole year, and, really it's a trickle down effect to the outside. And, we've been really fortunate to be relatively healthy up front throughout the whole year, like you said. And when you're able to have that, just more time on task you get throughout the season. And, I think, everyone talks about like quarterback receiver chemistry, but up front, that chemistry that you have between the 5, 6, 7 guys, it's a big deal, and it's something that we've continued to grow throughout the season.
Do you feel at all, as a kid growing up watching the Bears, that there's just kind of an overemphasis on history, and it's all of these seasons and players that are, a lot of it took place before you were born, even though there needs to be some new history?
Yeah, sure. I feel like that with Chicago sports in general. I always felt like that with the Cubs, and here obviously in Chicago with the Bears, and it's kind of maybe felt like that recently with the Bulls. You talk about the '90s, and that's kind of far away now at this point. I'm not taking shots or anything, but I'm just kind of what it is. I think Chicago is just a city that's deeply rooted in history, which is awesome, and it's what makes it such a special place. But that being said, we want to, build our own history here, and we have a chance to do that here coming up on Saturday.
What's your review of DeAndre's season? He performed for you guys.
All right, he was awesome, man. I mean, both the backs were great, running hard, and I think they really, really working together with the offensive line, tight ends, and the backs. Like, that's a huge deal, and understanding their tracks, them understanding our assignments has been big, and when the backs and the offensive line and tight ends were kind of all on the same page as to what we're trying to get done, and in terms of aiming points and the tracks and all those things, you're able to see some really good production. I think that's what we saw, throughout the year, and hopefully we can continue that going forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How we doing?
I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions about the playoff game, but just in terms of your accomplishment, what does it mean to you to lead the NFL in interceptions second time in your career?
No, it was awesome. Obviously something I'm definitely proud about, something that I set a goal early in the season, want to accomplish. Still a few more that I have on that list that I want to accomplish, but I've accomplished a couple of those already. So super happy, super proud of the work that I've been able to put in, the sustained success and consistency that I've put, on my resume. So super happy about that for sure.
What else is on the list?
The Pro Bowl, All Pro, win the Super Bowl. There's some other stuff that I don't really want to get into, but those are just a few.
What do you think has been the chief reason behind, your success with the interceptions this season?
It's either in you or it's on you. You know what I mean? I feel like it's something that, I've just been doing my entire career, college, NFL. I think it's just a skill that I've mastered. And like I said, you're either ball hawk or you're not.
JP, Ben was maybe a little more tolerant than we expected yesterday in saying that the defensive performance Sunday, separating the yards allowed from the points allowed. What was your review of Sunday when you looked at it?
Honestly, it was similar after obviously coming down from the loss, watching the film a few times. Obviously, a lot of things that we didn't do well. I don't think we covered well enough on the back end with obviously all the speed that they had out there on the field. But, yards are one thing, but obviously points is the main thing. And I think we did a good job of stopping that team in the red zone. I think similar kind of what we did against Green Bay, which they was able to draw the ball, but they was 0 for 5 in the red zone. I think this past game they were 1 for 4, 1 for 5, something like that. Gave us a chance to win the game, but we obviously want to be better than that from the 20 to the other 20 or whatever. But gave us a chance to win the game. It just didn't work out that way this time.
What's the secret to a good red zone defense?
I think when obviously the field is more condensed, I think the reaction and just being able to see things has to be a lot faster. You have to trigger faster. And then at that point, obviously having better run defense down there, obviously not letting them run it in there. But for quarterbacks, like I said, there's not a lot of space. There's more bodies in there. So I just think be able to react and all those type of things has to be a little bit more accelerated. But your eyes as a defensive back have to be really on point because a lot of times teams are scheming up different things, whether if it's gadgets, quick runs, quick throws to the flats and things like that. So you have to be really key on your reaction.
Does having a 7-foot-tall middle linebacker help you?
Oh, for sure. Anything that we can use definitely it helps. But like I said, I just think that understanding what teams like to do down there and being able to react and have your eyes right.
When you look at, looks a completely different quarterback than when the coaching staff took this job. Seeing him in practice every single day, seeing him in games, what's the biggest thing that shows you he is different from when this first started months ago?
Well, I think it's probably more of the processing and the confidence is definitely there. I think he's always been confident. The arm talent has always been there. All the special things that we seen last year is all still there. I think it's a little bit more accelerated for sure, but I think it's probably more the processing. I think Ben is doing a great job of obviously with the play calling, setting up runs and plays and stuff like that. So Caleb doesn't have to be the Superman that he always is throughout the entire game. He's gonna show his stuff every single game, especially when the games are tight and we need him to make a play. He's gonna do that. But I just think probably more of the process and stuff is what I've seen improve for sure.
You're a captain. You're a guy that has extensive playoff experience also. What's your process of messaging to the group this week?
I said it after the game, just reset. I'm extremely excited, extremely motivated for this week. I just got a workout in. I feel good. I'm motivated. My energy is up right now. Because at the end of the day, obviously, we had a really good season, division wins, all that other stuff. But everything is 0-0 now. Even the playoff stats reset. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, we have a great opportunity to go on a run. And it's all about putting the best things that we can do as far as film study, recovery, everything, and just coming in with a great attitude. Because at the end of the day, we have a special opportunity in front of us, and it starts with Green Bay this week.
And you've been part of a 9-7 team that went to the conference championship game. You've been part of a 1 seed that lost in the first round. How do you process that whole dynamic of what this is?
Yeah, I actually haven't won a playoff game since then. You know what I mean? So I understand how special these opportunities are, and they don't come around that often. I know just even this 2019 team, like, they were saying even back then, like, we were too early, like, as far as, like, we had snuck into the playoffs and, they're not going to do anything, you know what I mean? Like, they don't have all the pieces, and we went on the run, and obviously we're a game short. We're going to the Super Bowl. So
I've been hearing the same noise about this team this year as well. So I just think for us all together, just understanding how special this group is and going out there and just playing for each other. You know what I mean? It's do or die at this point. So, like I said, I'm just extremely excited, motivated. My energy level is high. It's going to be high for the rest of the week. Because, like I said, I mean, I'm blessed to be able to be back in the playoffs with this group, with this organization. So it's going to be fun.
Does playoff experience matter?
Yeah, I would say so. I think just for, like you said, the experience of, especially when it comes to for me, being able to be a part of these games, I know, and just talking to the guys, I remember my first playoff game. It was my second year in the league in Kansas City, and I just remember going out there for pregame warm-up, and it was the lights felt a little brighter. The sidelines were a lot more packed with media and all the different people out there. The intensity level just ramps up. You know what I mean? It's kind of just like going from preseason to regular season ball and regular season to postseason. You just feel rejuvenated. I feel rejuvenated, honestly. I don't feel, at this point in my body, I don't feel no wear and tear from the regular season. I feel like it's a new season, and that's how I'm approaching it. So I think guys just understanding that the intensity is going to wrap up. Just every little thing matters. Every play is going to matter. Because you just never know what's going to be the play that's going to win us the game or not. So, like I said, I think experience definitely matters at all levels, right? If it's offense, defense, special teams, it does matter. But at the same time, it's just, I think when you have a few leaders that obviously we got a lot of guys with some playoff experience, can kind of just give advice and tips and stuff like that from the other guys. And at that point, it's just going out there and playing football.
Yeah, I'm saying a great run. Who gives the speech on the field before you guys go to the locker room? Have you thought about what you want to say for this game? Do you want to change your, what's the process of that? You only get a minute to rally the troops. Have you thought about that moment?
No, honestly, I don't think about that at all until probably the day of the game. And honestly, just getting on the field, I don't know, you just kind of feel the energy. I don't really think about it at all. Obviously, there's a messaging that goes throughout the week as far as Ben and all that stuff. But a lot of that is usually, top of the dome, just basically how I'm feeling about the group and about that game. So you kind of just let the spirit lead you right there.
Yeah, I was at a great run in Tennessee. You have roots in Philly when you played there. What's it been like in Chicago to be a part of this run where the city is embracing the team and to feel that kind of atmosphere at Soldier Field?
No, it's awesome. I think these past few games have been feeling like playoff atmospheres. So no, this city, it deserves a winner. It deserves a team that's going to be able to make this run. And I'm super excited and just happy and blessed to be a part of a team that's trying to lead this run. So no, it's been special. It's been a special year. We're all looking forward to this playoff game and trying to do what we can to try to make this city proud.
I know we've talked to you about this before, but do you have a favorite locker room moment that involves good, better, best after a win?
I mean, definitely the Philly game. I think that's an easy thing to point to, just because it was unexpected, and I think we're always super excited when we win the game, coming to the locker room. You just never know what Ben's going to say, what he's going to do before obviously we get to the good, better, best. So no, that's definitely the top one for sure.
If he wins a playoff game, what's he going to do?
I don't know. Did y'all ask him?
No.
Yeah, y'all should have asked him. I don't know. I think we're all looking forward to it though.
Ben said that you guys are mentally prepared for 5 more weeks. How do you do that? How do you get there?
I feel like I'm already there, just mentally. Because like I said, I think once the season's over with, just even yesterday, just mentally resetting and understanding that for me, going into this game and after this game, every player should be not only physically exhausted, but mentally exhausted as well, because obviously a team that you've played, it's about to be our 3rd time playing this team. We should be locked in on everything that they could possibly do. Now, obviously, they can do what they want to do. They can change up their whole offense if they want to. But just being mentally so locked in on every single play, every situation, you should be just as mentally tired as you are physically tired. And like I said, just putting everything on the line, we don't have anything to hold back. You know what I mean? We don't have a guaranteed next week. It's really do or die. So it's empty the gas tank with everything that you have for this week, and then you do the same thing again the next week. So that's what I'm mentally preparing for. That's what I'm gonna tell the guys and everything. That's what we have to be focused on is mentally. It's every day emptying the gas tank from today, tomorrow, all the way up until Saturday night.
Kevin, it seemed like there was a playoff level tension at Soldier Field the last time against the Packers. Is it possible that it can be even more intense with the playoffs on the line?
I wouldn't expect nothing less. But, at the same time, we have to be smart enough. And that's when you talk about just the playoff experience, understanding that, the personal foul penalties almost hurt us in the last game. So we can't have that this week. So that's something that we're going to be talking about as a team. But the intensity level is going to be there. I mean, it's Green Bay at Soldier Field. I mean, the emotions are going to be high. It's going to be a super exciting atmosphere. But also understand this playoffs. Like, the refs probably going to call it a little tighter. You know what I mean? It's just kind of more eyes on the game. It's going to be a national televised game. So just understanding all those elements and make sure that you're playing smart, taking it all the way up into that line of don't cross the line, but taking it all the way up there, because that's the intensity that's going to be needed to win this game.
Defense specific, what about this group do you believe in going into the playoffs?
I believe in us just because of what we've done all year. Like I said, at the end of the day, there's always things that we can fix, but it's the same thing for every team. You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't believe there's a team in this league, especially in NFC, that's unbeatable. You know what I'm saying? Like, every team can be beat. And I think just for as us as a defense, I believe in us being able to take the ball away at a high level. We're the best in the league at doing that. And I think that's been our identity and something that we can hang our hat on going to this playoff as well. And being great in the red zone, I think we were confident last week with our red zone defense, and that's what it's about. And scoring more points than the other team. And obviously we don't want to give up those yards, but if we're forcing field goals in the red zone, that's always going to be a win. And I have confidence in our offense and being able to put up points. So I'm excited to see how this game goes. But we're super excited. And like I said, my energy level is super high. I'm excited for this opportunity.
Thanks,
No problem.
Thank you.
Sweet. Everybody doing?
You doing?
Do it.
You're built for these kinds of moments. Where's your headspace walking into your first playoff week, knowing the opponent, the stage, everything that's coming this week?
Another game. And then from there, you go out there and make plays for your team. You understand that you don't have another game. But in my mindset, I go into it, it's another game, and go out there and go win a game.
When you hear your coach say you're built for these moments, what do you think you have within you that gives everyone around you that feeling?
Yeah. I think I am built for these moments. Mentality-wise, how I've worked. And so, that's I've been in a bunch of big games before and a bunch of big rival games. And so, in those moments and in these moments, I think I can provide a spark for the team. I think I can, do whatever my team needs me to do, whether that's stay in the pocket, whether that's run, whether that's scramble, whether that's, whatever, hand the ball off 30 times and be energetic about it. Whatever it takes is where I'm at and where I'm going to be at for these next couple weeks, hopefully.
In what ways do you think this stage will be at all different from a big college game you played or a primetime game you played in the pros?
I treat them all the same. All the big games the same to me. It doesn't matter if it was high school for me, whether it was college or anything like that, whether it was a game that's going to get us into the playoffs. I think the mindset of it just changes a little bit because you don't have another game if you go out there and you don't accomplish the goal.
Didn't you tell us once that you were nervous one day ever?
One time. It was my first game versus Gilman, at their place in high school, and then after that, it was all good.
How are you able to not be?
I think it's just the trust in myself, the belief in myself, a little bit of that arrogant confidence on the football field, and then the trust and belief in who I have protecting me, the trust and belief and who I have calling the game, and then the trust and belief in who I have on the outside and in the backfield.
Ben just said you're a completely different quarterback from when the staff took this job. In what ways do you feel that the most?
Yeah, I feel that I've grown tremendously so far this year, and it's exciting to see. that record was more or less the growth that I've had, and so it's that's where I've been at. That's where my mindset's been at, and then at this moment it's at an all-time high for myself of confidence, and I'm gonna go into the game that way. I'm gonna bring that this week. I'm gonna bring energy this week for the guys. I'm gonna bring the urgency because that's what we need.
Back in the summertime, you said that Ben set the standard for this team to be a 10, 11 win team. Did you think we would get there this quickly?
Yeah, I did. Me being the quarterback, having been as a coach, and then having the guys that we have, I've said it multiple times. We got a lot of guys that care and care about each other, but also care about winning. And you put that tandem together, and you can do a lot. And we've done a good job so far this year, but we got a lot more coming.
You individually have started the game well, gotten off to a good start. What have been the consistent factors?
Are you saying recently or what?
Through the season, what has worked for you when you've gotten off to good starts? What are the common factors you see that get you going like that?
Seeing the ball caught, whether it's a deep pass, a short pass, whatever the case may be, seeing the ball caught, and then just telling myself, the small details, the footwork, keeping my base up under me, and all these different things, help me get off to a good start, and then allowing the guys to get into rhythm, allowing myself to get into rhythm, and then from there, we got a good shot to win the game.
Caleb, you guys were visibly frustrated on Sunday. How would you describe just sort of the energy in the building today with all you guys back?
Yeah, bringing that frustration to work, understanding where we're at, but also understanding where we can go, and understanding the urgency of where we're at and what we have to do to be able to come out victorious at the end of this.
Yeah, Ryan went out and got Drew and Jonah and Joe to help obviously the offense and you. Now that you had a full season with them, how do you describe what those three have meant for you?
Yeah, they've been tremendous. Don't forget Ozzie because he's a rookie. So went out and got Ozzie also. And Darnell's been here, but they've been. I mean, I don't know how many sacks I've taken this year, but I've cut it down, I would say, and it's not me cutting it down. It's those guys cutting it down for me. They've been huge for me, and this year, my career so far, this year, and so the all of my support goes out to them for each and every game that we played this year. Been able to keep me healthy, been able to keep me upright, been able to allow me to be able to make plays for this team, and allowing our other guys to make plays for this team. And so, carrying that same thing throughout the playoffs is going to be important. And it also leans on me being able to get the ball in my hands and go through my reads.
Caleb, I thought the first time you've ever talked publicly about the Chicago Bears was at the Combine.
Mm-hmm.
And your comment was that you wanted to create history
and
rewrite history.
Mm-hmm.
Where does Saturday fit in the context of that goal?
Yeah, it's a start of it. I think part of it was me getting here, coming here, and having that mindset throughout, and then having that confidence throughout, and then getting to this point, being able to go to the playoffs in the second year, my second year, coach's first year, and continue that mindset, that energy here in Chicago. I think is important. I think is where we're at, and I think it starts this, like you said, this weekend.
Four different targets with 600 yards this year. What allowed you to get so comfortable with so many different guys?
Open communication with those guys, being on the same page with them, training camp and all the tough days. I think those have been big for us, and then the details have been, I think, over the past couple of weeks have been better of landmarks and assignments and spacing and routes and things like that. And so when all that comes together, it turns out to be pretty good. And I think we can be a lot better, and we will be a lot better.
Caleb, offensively, with what you did have time to review from Sunday, what did you find?
Offensively?
Yeah,
I think we just came out flat. And we don't have time for that anymore. And so, we'll make sure we don't. And if that starts with me, that starts with me. And, we'll make sure that doesn't happen. Creating a spark early, whether it's running the ball, whether it's passing the ball, whether it's me making a play for the guys. Starting that early, starting in first quarter, starting out in a scoring drive, three or more. And then, putting the defense out there. unless they obviously got us the ball back already. So that's the mindset. Go out there, start fast, and we'll make sure of it.
From what you've seen, how has the good, better, best chant electrified the city of Chicago?
Yeah, I go on my phone and I'm on social media and I see little ads of good, better, best T-shirts and things like that. So to say the least, it's definitely sparked something good here, something fun, and we want to keep that going.
Caleb, why do you think you guys were flat? You're playing a home game against a team that beat you by 31. You've got playoff seeding on the line.
Yeah.
It seems like that would be a formula to be anything but.
Yeah, couldn't really tell you actually. Went back and watched, and just we had MAs. We were doing things that we've been pretty good at. I would say MAs, flags, not converting on third down. We've been pretty solid at those things. And so when you have those versus a team like that, no, they are in the playoffs, but that's a hell of a team, and you get behind, and now you got to come back. And so we couldn't complete the mission at the end of it, but with where we're at, I like where we're at. A lot of frustration, a lot of energy going into this game.
What would getting Rome back do for the offense?
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm excited to have him back. We were talking a few weeks ago when he went down before pregame. Texted him after the game, said I got you, and we'll get to the playoffs and we'll handle business when you come back. But I need you back healthy and ready to go. The Bears.